So, Spazzer, you want to take it away?
Not really.
All right, awesome. Well, I will say, first of all, congratulations, Steven, taking it 4-1. Spanishiwa, thank you so much for coming out. We're going to go ahead and start some question asking, of course. So can you give us your general feel about the game? We'll start with you, Steven, and then move on to you, Spanishiwa, as I'm very interested to hear both of your opinions.
Well, actually, I mean, I feel really, really, really good. Probably of all my matchups, I feel the best about late game ZVZ. The biggest trouble that I have with the ZVZ matchup comes with all of the shit that happens early game, and just by nature of Spanishiwa's build, like, he kind of forgoes the early game pressure, which lets me kind of get to the macro game. And I mean, pretty much with ZVZ, it's kind of like a clusterfuck of mass, infestors, and then fungling everything, and I seem to be okay at that. So, I mean, I don't know.
I gotta say, I have really enjoyed your ZVZ play. I've watched it quite a bit, and I think some of the things that you defend are pretty insane.
Yeah, infestors are cool.
Especially.
So, Spanishiwa?
It's my ZVZ. It's not very good. I thought it would be next week that we'd have the show match, so practicing or planning to practice.
Blame root cats. That's all you have to blame.
Yeah.
Cats is
sabotage.
just flaky.
His answer for canceling. I'm not gonna bash cats. I love cats. Cats is awesome.
Oh, you can bash him. That's
his
okay.
reason for canceling.
Probably
well,
because
his reason for canceling tonight. His reason for canceling tonight is he wanted to watch himself play NASL. That's what he told me, and I was like, "Okay, cats, I love you."
I feel like that might have been a spoiler right there.
Why?
Yeah.
Oh no, that's true. Maybe, yeah.
That's
I have not watched NASL, so I have no clue.
So, I'll commandeer the conversation a bit. Steven, I want to ask you about game number 4. What was that all about, Mike?
On game number 4, actually, I wanted to try them using the Mass Queens and everything, except I wanted to go heavy Infestor instead of the Ultralisk route, but I didn't defend against Rojas well enough, so I kind of got rolled.
Yeah, so what do you think about that build? Pretty strong? You're just still playing around with it, or what?
I mean, I haven't used it enough, really, to know. I don't know. I mean, honestly, I've actually been my thoughts about Zerg versus any matchup. I think. I mean, I've read your post that you made on Team Liquid, Spanishiwa, about all the drones and the saturation. I've actually kind of do that in my own play, and I've been doing it for a while, and I really feel strongly that too many Zergs get gassed too early. I know I've had tons of arguments with cats about how every Zerg will go 14 gas, 13 pull, and get link speed really, really early against like Protosses, and I always thought that gas could be delayed like a lot. So I mean, that's kind of how I play my matchups anyway. I've just never also defended with Mass Queens before, and I've never used like the same kind of unit comps, like the whole Mass Nidus with Queens and Ultralisks before.
Yeah. Yeah, I was still working on it, deciding between like Ultras and Brood Lords.
Mm-hmm.
So I tried Brood Lords in I think it was game 1, and evidently they didn't do so well. I think the positioning was pretty bad.
Yeah, one of the things that I found that in ZVZ, like, upgrades don't matter and units don't matter. The only thing that matters, honestly, it seems like, is infestors and positioning. Like at that, like what happened in that last game we played there. Like I think it was pretty close. I was starting to pull ahead at the end, but then at that last battle, like I got good positioning, and then nothing else in the entire game mattered. You know, and I think that's what happened on Crossfire too, where like I got positioning on your Broodlords, I dropped the infested Terrans, and then I was on top of the ramp, and then nothing else in the game mattered. It didn't matter what your upgrades were, or even how many units you had. Like I could have had like 4 roaches, but just because I had the positioning, everything fell to the wayside.
I would pretty much agree with that. And the 2 fights you referenced, that was pretty spot on. In that last match, you were somewhat ahead in army value anyway, so you had some other advantages, but the positioning is what really turned it.
Mm-hmm.
You also did have were you on +2 attack upgrade? I don't think Spanishiwa, I think he was on 0-0.
Yeah, I
So
think
that
I had
helped
attack upgrades, but I mean, when you look at the damage that units do in comparison to how much damage fungal growth does, like even if you're 3-3, it doesn't matter.
Yeah. Well, that's certainly true. So, infestors are the way of the future for Zerg, I guess.
Yeah, definitely. So, Spanishiwa, I know that people have really been reading that post and you've probably exhausted all this talking that you can do on your build. But how have you just personally been feeling about all the attention that your post has been getting? How are you feeling?
Feeling pretty good. I think it's good that Zerg is trying to use Nidus more and drops more. So I like that about it.
Awesome. Well, I'm trying to speed through the replay because I want to talk about one of the engagements you all were talking about, the positioning. Those broodlords were just barely out of position, so I'm trying to refresh my memory on where exactly they were. But you definitely showed us the late gas, and yeah. Do you think what do you think you could have done better in some of the games to make the builds work a little bit better for you?
Yeah, I'm not really sure. I was, because I mean, I was pretty scared against like early pools in like every game, so I had to scout earlier, and then timings got thrown off. So I think I just needed to practice it more and refine some unit compositions.
That's definitely a really great attitude to have. I love it when people are just like, oh, I hate it when people are just like, oh, screw this build, it's not any good, and give up on it. I really appreciate that. But Destiny, what do you have to say for yourself? How can do you honestly, like, after you hatch into someone's base, how do you feel about looking at yourself in the mirror?
Well, I mean, on a couple of the games, on a couple of the games, well, there's actually a reason for it. In a couple of the games, I started a metagame, kind of hard. Not to be a dick or whatever, but I mean just because I kind of know how the build goes. And so in terms of mass queens and everything, basically the hatch and base works the same as it would against a Forge first fast expanding Protoss, and that if they fast expand with a Forge and they forgo any tech, it makes defending against roaches extremely hard. And I think that, I mean, roaches versus queens and lings kind of works the same way. Since the tech is going to be so late and there's not going to be any link speed or roaches, getting any roaches out inside of a person's base would be really hard to defend because you don't have the ramp and you don't have the spine crawlers at the front of the base.
Right. Yeah, definitely. I just wanted to poke fun at you.
Yeah. Same thing with the in the game in Shikuras too was the 7 pool. Me and Spanishiwa played some practice games before, and I thought that hatch first was really bad just because if people do 10 pool or 7 pool first, like you'll always lose to that kind of a pool. So even though Spanishiwa said he was scouting a lot earlier than I think he normally wants to, I think it's really good that he does that scout because then it means he doesn't automatically lose to a 7 pool or a 10 pool. I think that's a really good adjustment to a hatch first build.
Yeah, I would certainly agree. It was fascinating to see so many early hatchery games between the two of you, and it seemed like you were both mutually satisfied with doing the early hatches, and I was actually really glad that you 7-pooled, and I actually missed it at first. I saw the pool, and I didn't realize how early it was, and I was busy talking about how crazy Shikuras Plateau is, and Janitor pointed it out, and I was like, whoa, and I thought it was just going to be an instant win, and it turned out to be a pretty long match, and you're exactly right. The scout is what allowed that game to go on more than 5 minutes.
Yeah, it was a pretty epic series of games. So how are you liking Vile, by the way, Spanishiwa?
I'm liking it pretty well. It's really nice to have practice partners now, instead of just going up on ladder and just, trying a new build against random people.
Yeah.
How long have you been a part of Vile, by the way?
Pretty recently, about maybe 2 weeks, I'd say. Could be longer.
Oh, wow. It's
I know.
pretty recent, though, so that's cool. We met the Vile guys at Dallas. They're a very nice group.
Yeah, they're a great group of guys.
Are you planning on attending Columbus?
Not Columbus, but I will definitely be trying to get to MLG Anaheim.
Ah.
Very nice.
So I'm trying to field some questions from chat here. That's why I'm not talking very much. One of the questions, I just kind of want to bring up the last game there on Zelnaga. How far behind did you feel, Spanishiwa? Because I know one of the main things that we saw was evident in most of the games was, well, not most of the games, but in that particular game, was the upgrades. Steven had a lot more upgrades on his roaches. Did you feel that, or how do you... What's your overall feeling at the end of the game?
I I felt pretty good, but that engagement on the ramp, that was pretty bad for me. I guess I shouldn't have ran up there.
Yeah, it was. I don't know. It was kind of hard. But you were pretty far behind at that point too. So taking down the hatch was kind of important. Taking the gold was good, but Steven, you had some great fungals on that gold expansion.
Which gold expansion? When I attacked him?
Yeah, in Salnaga, when you just had your Infestors burrow move over there, and then...
Oh, yeah. Oh, I thought you were talking about when I did an attack. I did an attack on that, and it was really, really bad for me. I went into the battle with 12 Infestors, and I ran away horribly with my tail in between my legs with 3 left. It was really bad.
Yeah. Yeah, I remember that engage, too, where you just brought the Infestors up and just were like, can you please kill these real quick? I don't really like them much.
Yeah, what was the thought behind that? What you sort of led with your Infestors, and then you pulled your roaches up, and your Infestors got trapped. Was that just a screw up? Or?
Yeah, just bad micro. One of the reasons why I'm not in Grandmasters, because I do shit like that too much. Too much.
All right.
I'm going to ask a question, a little adjacent to everything. It's kind of on topic. I just wanted to get both your views on NASL, seeing that it's going on right now, or was going on. What you think about it involving some Koreans. My personal thought, I love NASL, I love Russell. I was able to meet him at MLG Dallas, and it's a great bunch of management and stuff like that. But what's your views on having 10 Koreans in there and just how it's going so far? Do you think it'll improve? Do you think there's any hope? Do you think it's great? What's your stand on it? Start with Spanishiwa.
I think it'll be good in the sense that it'll make the other competitors practice more, but I'm kind of worried about scheduling conflictions and things like that. Yeah.
I don't know. I really don't like the way that Koreans play. I don't know. That's just me. I don't know. I don't know. Watching Sen vs Boxer, I thought was really sad. It looked like they were playing pre-patch games. Like Sen didn't even know that the Infestor got buffed. I don't know. I feel like Koreans are really, really good mechanically, but they're really, really, really boring creatively. Like you could, like 400 APM players are going to come out of Korea, but like the Spanishiwa build will only come out of like non-Korean countries because they're too busy practicing the same builds over and over and over again that they don't think up stuff like that. I don't know. That's just kind of how I feel personally.
All right.
Also, do they play?
Any other thoughts?
Do they play Korean servers? Do they play from Korea to the North America server?
Yeah.
Oh wait,
Yeah.
apparently Sen isn't Korean. Well, that's weird.
Yeah, no.
Why the fuck wasn't Sen using it? He built like one Infestor that entire game. Well, I said like that game though. I didn't say he was Korean, so fuck you, whoever said that in my chat. Fuck you. I didn't actually say Sen was Korean.
That's actually funny. I do want to. There is one question. No, go ahead.
Well, I was just going to say, the only reason I brought that up is there's been a lot of upset with, I guess you could call us foreigners. That's what we've been called in the StarCraft 2 scene, or StarCraft scene, period. But supposedly there's been a lot of upsets with some foreigners being really upset at going against some of these top tier players into a North American league. I was asking about it, what you guys thought about that. So I think it's going to improve. There's a lot of hate towards some of it right now, but I think it's going to improve, and the guys behind it are great, especially the management team. So best of luck in the future. Except I don't like the conflict with my series. Kind of.
Yeah, that's my main complaint. They conflict with the timings pretty much when we stream everything. That's the only problem. They're commandeering the prime time for streaming, which is rough.
Hey, who's ever bigger gets in there. But anyways, to switch topic, go ahead. I think it was Janitor that had a question.
Yeah, I got you. I have a question from the chat because I know the chat always likes asking their questions. Love to get them involved. So from Squid Bitty Flop, he always asks good questions. For both of you, has this matchup pointed out, and I assume by this matchup he means the ZVZ, pointed out any major flaws or weaknesses in either one of your general builds? So we'll start with you, Steven, and then move on to you.
I don't know. I play all of my matchups kind of differently. Like I said, the most awkward thing about ZVZ is the intro, because if you make too many units, then you fall behind in drones. If you make too many units and push and they defend, you auto lose. If you don't make enough units and then they push, then you auto lose. If you open really heavy Ling and transition into Roach and they come at the right time with Ling and Baneling, you just get ran out. Like the intro to ZVZ is really, really, really awkward. So I mean, like the way that match opens is so much different than every other match. I don't know, in my opinion. So no, I can't really say that it's helped me in any other matchups, just because ZVZ is so much different.
Well, I mean, I think the question was more about your personal builds. Did this particular matchup?
Oh, like
help
this
you,
set, like this series of
refine
games.
your ZVZ? Yeah. I think that's what he said.
I mean, a little bit. I don't know. Like I said, even going into this, I feel really, really, really good about my late game ZVZ. I feel really good. I've always felt really good about it, just because I love Infestors so much, and I'm really big on positioning. So I think, I don't know, I feel like these matches kind of showed that, especially in some of the games where just positioning was pretty much the only reason I won.
Oh, definitely. Yeah, and Spanishiwa, sorry, I'm also trying to filter through questions. So Spanishiwa, same question, obviously.
For me, well, going into it, I knew that I hadn't really practiced my ZVZ, so I was trying to, I'm not really sure, keep it like standard pre-patch Infestors, so going like Roaches and yeah, but obviously that didn't work out too well. So most of the games I just tried to get like to Hive Tech and hope that the Hive Tech units were cost efficient enough that it would make up for any disadvantages that I got during the early game.
All right, interesting indeed. Does anyone else have anything?
Go ahead, Spanishiwa, if you had.
I mean, I've got more questions. I was going to give someone else a chance to ask questions if no one else had anything.
Well, mine are a little less about the series, but more just where do your names come from? Spanishiwa in particular, does your name have, first of all, is that how you pronounce it, and where's that name derived from?
Spanishiwa is the correct pronunciation, and it's derived from, well, kind of my past. I used to move around a lot, and still do. And one of the places I lived was Japan, but most of the students there were taking Japanese for their foreign language, and I took Spanish, so it's kind of a play on words between like Konnichiwa or Watashiwa and then Spanish.
What does Taco Bell have? Do they have anything good? Do they have like a steak burrito?
That is pretty interesting. So Steven, where does Destiny come from? Are you just the Destiny of the Starcraft scene?
Hold on 1 second. Sorry.
Steven.
What, my name? When I was younger, I had a whole bunch of things in my life that I liked, okay? I liked Gundam Wing, and I liked I don't know, the word Neo and
rocks.
like astronomy. So Wing Neo Star 15 was my first internet name when I was a kid. When I went to battle.net, I dropped everything else, kept the Neo, and it wasn't original, so I threw Destiny behind it because I thought it sounded cool as fuck because I was like 9 years old. And then as I grew older, I realized Neo Destiny sounded super gay. I dropped the Neo, Destiny sounds slightly less gay, and then that's kind of where the name is right now.
So the thread on Team Liquid about Destiny coming from a stripper name, that's not true?
Nope, not entirely. I would never name myself after your mom.
Oh, sick.
I'm just kidding. I'm sorry. You know I love you for you.
We're still having that talk later, Steven.
Oh, okay.
I just want you to know the entire Showmatch series just got canceled, Steven.
Oh, shit. Okay, hey, can I get any kind of like steak burrito? Any kind of big burrito they have, okay? Steak.
One more question, and then we'll wrap this up. Do some shoutouts and stuff like that. So
yeah, give me the grilled stuffed burrito, the biggest.
Oh man, there were so many good ones though. Okay. I'm gonna finish this one because we haven't asked a question directly about your build yet, Spanishiwa. So I feel like the viewers, everyone wants to hear it. So this one comes from TK Romeo. Spanishiwa, what do you feel makes your build strong in ZV? You mentioned earlier that your build isn't as strong as ZVZ. What do you think you like about it so much in ZVT and ZVP as opposed to ZVZ?
I think it's just as strong in all the matchups, but ZVZ it's a little more reliant on scouting, and I wasn't really too confident about it because I hadn't practiced it that much. You don't really roll too many ZVZs on ladder, and whenever I do, I usually just get like a macro win from it. So I haven't had too much practice, but so that's why you didn't really see too many Niduses popping out or quick ultras or anything.
Oh, okay.
I will if
Well-
I could add something really fast. I think that in most of our games that we played today, I want to say that we both got to the mid game either on equal footing or with Spanishiwa a little bit ahead. I don't think any of the I don't think the build is bad or anything just because I beat him today. I don't know. I just wanted to throw that out there. Yeah.
I think there were a couple of games where you were actually ahead in the mid game because of like how many Zerglings he lost.
Yeah. Early harass and stuff like that.
Yeah, but I think you're right. I think you guys at certain points in the game, definitely past the first part, you were still even a little bit later into the game almost every single time. I'm saying good job.
So either Steven or Spanishiwa, you have questions for either one? You want to bounce off anything off each other before we wrap this up?
I'm good.
Yeah, I
What
don't know,
about
I
you,
feel
Steven? You
pretty
still good? Are you gonna make fun
Here's
of
a
me?
random question. Have you ever tried your queen opening against like a blink stalker opening?
Have I ever tried a what?
Have you ever ran into somebody doing like a 4-gate blink stalker rush?
I seem to recall a game pretty recently. Kind of fuzzy about it.
Did you?
Yeah.
Did you?
Minigun did it to me.
Oh, okay. Oh, that's pretty sick. Were you able to hold it, or?
I thought I had the right composition. I had +1 lings against his blink stalkers, but it was on Zelnaga Caverns, and
Yeah,
I
that
didn't
would
have
be
the
the map
rocks knocked down, so
Yeah.
wasn't able.
What about and then at the risk of people totally dicking out to you on ladder, have you ever ran into Terrans who try 5-Rax Reaper against your build?
Yeah, I'm not sure where that came from, but
I saw somebody on Reddit had made a post. They were like, I found the most hilarious way to beat Spanishiwa's build. Do you remember 5-Rax Reaper? And then he made a big post on it. So I was wondering if a whole bunch of people started doing it to you or not.
yeah, and then like I scouted and I'm confused, but after that Reaper nerf, I just don't think they're very good.
No, so nobody's been able to beat you with it?
Well, Moonin did this Reaper opening. It wasn't a 5-Rax, but he opened heavy Reapers, like 5, 6, 7 Reapers,
Uh-huh.
and then transitioned straight to Ravens,
Oh, okay.
like switching the tech labs on
Yeah.
Star Forts, and that beat me. But it was just like
Pretty
I was
weird.
ahead. I just
Yeah. It's kind
you
of
don't see Ravens that often, so
Yeah.
Standard for Moonin, what?
yeah.
Love you, Moonin.
Do you? Yeah, we got Moon's so hilarious.
The best was talking about Moonin quickly. For the past invitational I did, everyone was having BattleNet problems. I actually lost Sheth because of BattleNet problems, and I believe Anti-Mage. And we ended up using a Smurf account for Moonin, and it was called, what was it called? Oh my god.
Something
It was-
Asian.
Cute Asian girl.
Yeah,
I remember that
Cute
fucking
Asian
asshole
girl.
because I got him in the losers bracket on Metalopolis in close positions.
I could it. I was gonna say Steven got beat by a cute Asian girl, but
That's his
Yeah, you
dream.
need to do that on your fucking tourneys and in our future show matches, like MLG maps only. Holy shit. Rolling Terran in close positions on like Shattered
Oh,
Temple
yeah.
and Metalopolis is a do you know what it's like playing against DDE close positions on Shattered Temple when he's 2-raxing you? Like, no.
Been there.
I'm sorry.
Oh,
No, I don't want to. I love Zeke. I'm actually going to answer that question. I love Zeke, but for some reason, when we generated it the first time, basically I used a mirror image of like my last event. Because like the first event went fine, but this one went really, really long, and I basically mirrored it. And what happened was, it wasn't MLG. For some reason, they didn't have MLG. Like it was the first one I remember saying that it was MLG, even though it didn't say MLG, and it just I forgot about that. So that was my fault. But I feel your pain, kind of.
Yeah.
So
When we
anyways,
were casting that, I was just like, oh my god, I think Steven's keyboard just took a Dura hit.
What? Oh.
Wow reference.
So we'll wrap this up. Big thank you to someone's at me. Big thank you to Steven and Spanishiwa coming. Thank you Spanishiwa for coming last minute. I blame Rukat because, of course, like I said, he wanted to watch himself in NASL. That's no spoiler by any means, but yeah. So big thank you. basically, just so everyone knows, I've cut back all my events. The only event as of right now I'm doing is the ROOTDestiny Showmatch series. I've got 2 or 3 big stuff coming up in the next couple of weeks, so stay tuned for that. We'll wrap up tonight. Big thank you to Hypercrew and, of course, ROOTDestiny and vileSpanishiwa for coming out and playing the best 7. Congratulations to Steven taking home $50. And we'll wrap it up with tonight with everyone pitching themselves. And we'll start with Steven. Or plugging themselves.
I'm Steven, Ice Cream on Team Liquid. You guys all know me. Thanks to NASL Boys for sponsoring the event. Thanks to Spanishiwa for coming last minute.
I'm Spanishiwa. You might see me on Team Liquid streaming, and I'm also like on Well Played, and also got a Facebook fan page. So look out for me.
Sweet and simple.
That's right. I am Janitor from Hypercrew alongside Zyori. We are from hypercrew.com. Been streaming for over 6 months and looking to get into a lot of things. So a huge, huge thank you to every single one of you guys. Basscraft for holding the event, Steven for coming out, being hilarious, and for Spanishiwa's epic builds. We really appreciate all the games, guys.
Yeah, I'm Zyori from Hypercrew. A lot of you probably know who we are, but big thanks to the players that came, especially Spazcraft. Now that we're working with those guys, it's really great. So check out Hypercrew. I'll drop some links to Facebook all over the place, and our chat and Steven's chat. A lot of stuff coming up. We're casting quite a bit of different things, so just stay tuned and at Hypercrew Live on Twitter.
Oh yeah, and don't forget to hit the follow button if you haven't already done so.
So yeah, just one more last thing before we cut out here. Please go and follow everyone. Go follow Steven. Do you actually have a fan book page, Steven, or is it just your Facebook?
I don't think I have one.
All right.
Just just PayPal me like $15 if you want to join my fan club, and I've got a big list. I've got a notebook in my room where I write all your names down. It's a cool club. I call it the Sucker Club, in case you're curious.
Oh, dude, sorry, I have to give a shout out to all the viewers. I always give a shout out to the viewers, and I almost forgot today. So,
big shout out to everyone for coming to watch and support these. Without you guys, it wouldn't be possible. Big thanks to everyone. But yeah, please go subscribe to. I know Spanishiwa has a Facebook. I don't know what the exact. Because there's a.
Sorry.
Holy shit, Steven.
Somebody posted a link to that fucking Pop-Tart cat. I'm sorry. Go ahead.
Wait,
all I heard. I don't know. All I heard was
Pop-Tart
cat.
Yeah, explain Pop-Tart.
It's the Pop-Tart cat. You haven't seen the Pop-Tart cat?
No.
www.nyan.cat.
Yeah, I'll definitely check that out.
Yeah.
Pop-Tart cat. So yeah, anyways, subscribe to all our stuff, especially to Steven's and Spanishiwa's. Check out, of course, their amazing clans, root-gaming.com and vilegaming.com. Big shout out to Vile Hash because I don't know he will kick my ass if I don't give a shout out to him. And Root Cats is supposed to be rescheduled for next Saturday, but it really depends on what happens with NASL and all that fun stuff. So anyways, that's it. If anyone has anything else to add, we're done for tonight. I'll see everyone next Tuesday versus Steven versus Protoss.
No,
Forgate, what? Chad wants to come back. I might bring Chad back.
Don't do it.
Chad wants to play.
I beat him in my last game I played against him, so now I'm not going to play against him until the game is patched. P sucks a little bit more. Or Z sucks a little bit less, depending on who gets buffed or nerfed. Okay, alright. I love you guys. It's been fun.
Alright, GG guys.
See you, Spanishiwa.
Bye, friends.